Police Public Relations Officer Ahmed Wakil, a team of seasoned detectives, were immediately assigned to investigate the grave allegations and apprehend the suspect. During the subsequent interrogation, Sule reportedly confessed to the heinous act, admitting to molesting his daughter on numerous occasions. Medical examinations further corroborated the victim's ordeal, revealing that she is currently 3 months pregnant as a direct result of the alleged sexual abuse. The victim's testimony aligned with her father's confession, recounting the distressing incident that transpired while her mother was away visiting relatives in Bura village. Sule allegedly exploited his daughter's vulnerability during his wife's absence. Upon the mother's return and discovery of her daughter's pregnancy, the horrifying truth was revealed. The victim bravely disclosed her biological father as the perpetrator of the repeated sexual assaults. The gravity of the crime has prompted a swift response from the highest echelons of Bauchi State Police Command. Commissioner of Police Sani Omolori Aliyu has issued a firm directive for the case to be expedited through the legal system. Upon the completion of the ongoing investigation, the accused, Umar Sule, will be formally charged in court to face the full wrath of the law for his alleged reprehensible action against his own daughter. This deeply troubling case underscores the vulnerability of children within their own families and the crucial importance of swift intervention and justice in instances of sexual abuse. The Bauchi State Police Command's prompt action reflects a commitment to protecting the vulnerable and ensuring that perpetrators of such heinous acts are held accountable, sending a strong message against all forms of child abuse within the community. This is a rather sad one. The mother was away and the father. When we talk about incest, do you think every man and every woman should take it more seriously than what it is?
It can be taken more seriously. I mean, you can't overemphasize the place of taking it seriously. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. My take could have even been that if this child is maybe the woman's child and not the man's child, I would want to say to everybody, not just the women, don't get married to a person you can't trust your children with, even if those children are children you had before getting involved to the person, whether it be a man or a woman. If I have a child from previous relationship and I'm getting involved in some other person, whether that child lives with me or not, that child should be of utmost consideration in whatever I do. First, by letting you know that, I have a child before. I mean, like I said, even if such a child don't live with you, you can't rule out the possibility of that child coming to visit me and possibly stay with me, and vice versa. I mean, on the part of the other spouse also, if she had a child in previous relationship with her, and all those things, you can't rule out the possibility of the child coming to you. And if there's anything I would want for my child or children, as the case will be, I think every right-thinking person should also agree with me on this. I mean, this is not asking for too much. Is that no matter what has happened between you and their maybe mother or father or some, depending on the gender, now a child should feel at home with either of the parents. So the least expected of a partner is to make your home conducive for the child of your spouse or partner, even if that child is from a previous relationship that you were not involved in. But it becomes very alarming that one would lack words to see that this is something happening to a child not from a previous relationship, but this is the biological father of this child. How does one process this? How did the man, what happened to him? I'm trying to look for the right words to use. How did he process the whole of that process of, from the time of arousal and all that? I don't even care the age of the child. Even if the child is a full-grown woman, you can't give the excuse of lost or something, because I don't get it. And this is why I think, like the police officer said, the full wrath of the law should take its course on this man. A clear message should be sent to. I mean, how do you process this? How do you tell a child that he or she is not safe in his house, in his or her house? How can a child that should run to the father for protection,
exactly,
have the same father being the one molesting him? I mean, even if this man was insane, even if a psychiatrist prove him to be mad, I want to ask, is there no limit to what a mad person can do? It's terrible. It's terrible. This is not good for the ears. It raises more questions than answer. I would always say, I mean, the man should be dealt with. Thorough investigation should be carried out, and the man should be made to face the consequences of the law. Then on the child of that, on the girl need a thorough rehabilitation, because this is one incident that will live with her for a very long time.
Especially with the fact that she's currently pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. That's even what I wanted to say. If she successfully have the child and the child grows up, how do you tell your child that his or her father is the same as your father? How would even the child feel? I mean, how would I feel if I know that the person who seared me, raped, for example, my mom? How would I feel towards him? Then to think that this person, I mean, your grandfather is also your biological father. How do you explain? So he's going to put, two generations in harm's way. It's going to be difficult for the child to process that the man he should see as a loving father is the same person as a grandfather. The man he should be as a loving grandfather is also the person who would have caused him the greatest pain of his life.
Now, do you think perpetrators of this action actually think the long-term implications of this? Because from one report last year was a report of a father that was actively engaging in coitus with his 3 daughters. And now these daughters would say, oh, daddy, is the only how you're doing with, why isn't it on my turn, secondary school girls?
You see, I don't want to sound superstitious, but if I see anybody who sees such a situation and say, oh, it is demonic inspired, in spite of what my belief is on that, I wouldn't argue with that, because that may just be the only way we can explain it, that people would willingly go into a sexual relationship with people they have a biological, not just biological relationship. This is not your cousin. This is not a distance cousin. This is not somebody you don't know. This is not some Nollywood movie. This is somebody you grew up with as your father. The children you grew up with as your daughters. And you are, the only consolation would be a confirmation from a psychiatrist or something that there was something wrong with them mentally. Even at that, it would be a cold comfort. But I don't want to accept that any normal thinking person, when people find it difficult to even have sexual relationship with people that they are legally, morally, and even spiritually allowed to have sexual relationship, it's a debasing of the human person. Right. The child should be properly rehabilitated, taken away from that place if possible, so as to, her mind needs to be reprogrammed. If not, it's going to be a disaster.
Now, for many cases such as this, let's say you become jury. What measures, what hand are you going to deal with cases like this to act as a mirror for others to see, to say, okay,